So, as Technovation alumni, we find it immensely important to gain feedback and advice from industry experts while we navigate our own career journeys. And we feel like the connections we build and the conversations we have instill us with confidence and direction as we make progress on our own goals. So, for this reason, I'm excited to introduce the next segment of this event, which is a career path Q&A, where a fellow Technovation alumna will ask questions to all of you in the hopes of receiving valuable advice. So we can go on to the next slide. So our Q&A moderator is Nisha, who graduated from Worcester Polytechnic Institute in 2021 and works as a hardware engineer at Dell Technologies. She participated in the Technovation Challenge in 2017 as a junior in high school and served as a student ambassador in the following year. She continues to support Technovation girls as a mentor and a leader. So with that, I'm really excited to hand it over to Nisha to facilitate the Q&A.
Hello, everyone. I'm really excited to be here and meet all of you. So the way this Q&A will work is that if you have an answer to a question, can you please raise your hand using the Zoom feature, and I will call on you, and you're always welcome to engage in the chat. So let's get started. The first question that we have for you is, how do we set career goals for ourselves, and how do we keep ourselves accountable toward achieving them? By us, I mean new graduates who are just joining the industry and want to do our best when we go into industry.
I think it's really important to establish what's called a board of directors for yourself. There's many different paths that you can take once you get into an organization, and you just never know where your skill set might land. So finding people in different areas that are willing to help you and guide you, especially for women, I think we tend to think you need to have all of the skills to go to the next job, but you don't, right? You have to have the foundation. And so I think having the confidence that you have that network of people that are going to help you navigate, and that can be both within the organization that you work, but also outside, because as you kind of grow in your career, you're going to have relationships across different organizations that will help you and guide you into the next kind of path.
Hi, thank you. I agree with Allison. I wish that earlier in my career, I had kind of built more of a network of people that I could rely on to ask for help. I think I had a lot of peers that were still helpful, but didn't necessarily have the connections that I may have needed or could help with the breadth of experience that I maybe could have used as some advice. And that really would have helped me. I just made a career jump to ServiceNow last year. And so that's the piece of advice I think I've learned is it would have been helpful to have more of a network, but also to know from the beginning that it's okay if the path that you think you've been learning for, I went to college, I got a master's degree all in one thing and thought that I could only do one thing for the rest of my life. But so many of those skills transfer to other things. And I never thought I'd be working in a tech space like this, but I'm using so many of the soft skills that I had for my previous work. And I think it's important to note that if you're thinking about changing or just too nervous or too scared, to have a network of people to rely on for advice, but also know that it's okay to make changes because it's your life and you should be able to find something that makes you very happy.
Yeah, hi. Thank you everyone so far for sharing their thoughts and what inspirational women you are. It can be daunting going into the world of work for the first time. And I actually work at ServiceNow within the talent acquisition team. So we help people get opportunities at ServiceNow, whether you're professional or early in career. The advice I give to everyone really is I think it's already been shared, is use your network. And if you don't have a network, get a network. Speak to people, ask questions. If you don't have a LinkedIn profile, get one. Join relevant groups and be proactive. Often people don't think that looking for a job is a full-time job. It absolutely is. So you need to be regimented, disciplined, and try really hard. And then thirdly, the 3 Ps I always refer to: positivity, patience, and persistence. because you're not the only person looking for the role. Don't get disheartened when people reject you, because you're going to get a hell of a lot more rejections than you're going to get acceptances. As soon as you realise that, then just get your head down, get on with it, and be as positive. Don't let the naysayers get you down, and then use your network, whether mentors or friends or colleagues or people that you've just connected to on LinkedIn. Ask for a coffee, ask for a call, whatever. They can only say no. So good luck, and please feel free to reach out to me directly if you want further information.
That is awesome. Thank you so much. I really love those. I loved the 3Ps as well. I know someone in the chat said that. Next,
Well,
I have, how do you say your name? Betuel? Please correct me if I'm wrong.
I was expecting that question. I was expecting that question. It's Betul, but I know it's challenging, so no worries.
Okay.
For someone who started it in a where there were less females and don't support so much, or well, a lot of competition in that area, I have to admit it was challenging. But the way I did it, I just jumped into things, just tried it courageously, bravely, without even being afraid. I was afraid all the time. I was scared to fail. I was scared not to perfectionize it. But I just accepted that I will have challenges, but I can only do it when I have the courage. So courage was a big thing. I just tried it. Even I failed, I tried it again. So that's with my all the jobs I did apply for. And it took me a lot of time to get one of my dream jobs was Siemens, because I wanted it, because I was in Turkey, I knew German. It took me a couple of years, I got in. It took me a long time, at least 5 years, but I got in. So when you want to achieve something, be persistent about it, like Chat said, and try it. Don't be afraid about the no. You will get a lot of no's, but that's okay. If you don't try, if you don't have the courage, you will always regret it. That's the same I did in my previous job also. I applied 2 times. I got in. I never get a lot of things in the first trial, that's for sure. But it doesn't break my spirit. I want to continue. I want to try. And through the journey, I did different jobs. I started with something much different. I landed in something much different in an accident, but I really loved it. So don't be afraid to try new things. You never know, even in IT is a big area, right? So it doesn't have a limit what you can do. So don't be afraid to try it, and just ask for it. Ask for help. Ask the people. Find someone from that company you are applying for. Ask 5, 10 people. One of them will reply. One of them will be the one who find your champion. That's the part.
I love that.
If you have champions, people who support you, there will. Especially for me, like it's really dear to my heart to support women in this area. It's a little bit, I know it's selfish compared with the man, don't get me wrong, but I prefer to support. So then I think a lot of females in this area are like that. So don't hesitate, contact them. Just go on LinkedIn now, add all of us. Don't hesitate. Anyone you can see, just get your names, add all of us. I think we will all agree with it. Anyone not agreeing? No, I'm just kidding. So,
yeah. I think another
thank you for the opportunity.
Sorry. I think another related advice that I've received is like always say yes, never say no to anything. So I like that a lot. Next I have Ankita. I'm not sure how you say it.
Yes. So I am like so happy to hear everyone's views, because they are similar to what I have. And the advice that I would give, at least even to my younger self, will be that don't be afraid. Because when I also joined the industry, as like, there are very few females, to be honest, like it's a male dominated in the IT also, like, out of like in my journey of 10 years in this particular IT industry, I have been in teams where I'm the only girl, right? So sometimes when you join and you're a new hire, you are starting your career, there are a lot of doubts that go around in your mind. You don't feel confident. You don't ask questions. You think that, okay, if I ask, may I be considered as silly and things like that. So even I went through all those things, and I would say that please don't be afraid. just be yourself, ask all the questions. And what I understood is, the sooner you become comfortable with the uncomfortable situations, the better you will grow. So be uncomfortable, and in when I say uncomfortable, as in take on the opportunities when you get. Don't think too much. As women, we feel that okay, we have to be like 100% sure, and we have to have all the qualities, and then only we should be taking something new, or like committing on to something. But it's a journey, and you will understand and learn along the way. So don't question yourself, and you're strong. So yeah, that's one piece of advice that I would give to all those who are planning to join, or will be having this career path.
I love that so much. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts. We have three more hands. Wow. We'll go through everyone and then we'll move on to the next segment. So Mary Uxi.
Yep, that's correct. I think my biggest advice would be chiming into, I think Maria touched on this, was you don't have to do what your degree necessarily is. Like I graduated, I did my undergrad in biology, thought I was going to be a doctor, then did my master's in social work, and now I work in marketing. So it really does not, matter. You just have to kind of like everyone's saying, just say yes to opportunities, talk to people, be confident, take risks. And and just, I would say the biggest thing I wish I did more of is get internships or shadowing experiences to see, because you may think you want to do something, and then when you actually do it, you're like, oh, I don't know if I want to do that. So on the surface, it may seem great. And then once you get into the work, you realize other aspects of it. So I would say that would be my biggest, whatever positions, jobs, speak to people that have those jobs, and find out what they like about it, what they don't, see if you can shadow them or if there's any internship opportunities. And that'll give you a better idea of what you want to do career-wise.
Thank you. Next we have Andulika. Please correct me if I'm wrong.
That's correct, Andulika. There's a lot of interesting things everyone have told you, right? So I will not try to repeat it. The only thing I wish someone would have told me before, when I look back in my own journey, is that don't expect people to realize what you are doing, right? Take the time to think what you are doing. Is that where you want to be, or you want to grow somewhere else? And don't wait for anyone to come to you and say, okay, you are doing great here, and this is your skills, or these are your transferable skills, and this is where you might want to go. Find people who can help you to go where you want to go.
Thank you so much. And finally, we have Apurva.
Hey, yes, I love all the advice that's given so far. One piece of advice that I think I would give that someone had given me early in my career is to always have a hype folder. So I have a folder on my desktop, and every piece of good advice I get, I screenshot it and I put it in there. And so when you're getting further into your career, getting into like promotion cycles, things like that, you have all of this evidence of the good feedback and good things that you've done. And it's great to just have that kind of history. So on top of everything that everyone said, just make sure you capture the good pieces of feedback that people give you.
I love that. I actually have end of year conversations coming up like next week. So I think having like a collection of that is like really good when I'm talking to my manager about my like whole like year and how it went. So I love that. Thank you.
All right. Well, wonderful responses from everybody in the audience, and advice I'm sure I, along with the other alumni on this call, will take with us for sure as we like navigate our career journeys. So in the past, 30 or so minutes, we've learned about the incredible projects being worked on by Technovation alumni whose, main goal is to create a social impact and address pressing issues around the world. And this is a very critical time to support innovation. Every year, thousands of girls and young women develop tech and AI-based solutions to tackle real-world problems. And you all can support and empower young women by mentoring us and fostering the right ecosystems where we can thrive and drive innovation and transformative change.